So if you're trying to get into cybersecurity, but you don't understand cloud security, you're going to get left behind. Don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to show you how to create your own cloud security sandbox that can simulate real cloud security attacks. At the end of this video, you're going to be able to set up CloudStrike AI and have another project to put on your resume to make you look like a cloud security expert. Hi, my name's AJ. I've been in cybersecurity for the last 10 years, and on this channel, I teach all things cybersecurity for beginners, so let's get into it. Cloud Security Project, then, it is great for beginners to put on your resume or on your CV, but it's also good for current cybersecurity professionals as well who are looking to gain more experience when it comes to cloud security. So do keep that in mind. So before we get into it, then some prerequisites and some things that you'll need first. What I'm going to be using is a Kali Linux VM. You can use any virtual machine of your choice, any Linux flavor, or even Windows as well. I'm going to be using Kali in this video, and then I'm going to be connecting to it from my Windows virtual machine, but all of the setup is going to be in Kali. So then you're going to need access to CloudStrike AI, and now CloudStrike is hosted on this GitHub here. I'll put a link for it in the description as well. And what CloudStrike AI actually is a cloud and cybersecurity sandbox that can help you simulate cloud native and cloud-based attacks. So this was actually created by somebody in our free cybersecurity community. If you're interested in speaking with Rivtik, he's in our school community. Link will be in the description. Also, as part of the link below, you can also apply for a free career strategy call. So you can get access to the free community and also access our free career strategy calls where we'll go through a step-by-step plan for you to get into cybersecurity or any cybersecurity role of your choice. And of course, the focus on this video is in cloud security. So if that's something you might want help with, do let us know. And you can also get in contact with the creator of this tool as well. So CloudStrike AI, as you can see here, it can help us create full attack scripts and actually model full threat scenarios when it comes to cloud-based attacks. So it's a fantastic tool. I do recommend using it. You can come in here. It's going to go through a description of how it actually works. And you'll also see at the bottom as well some instructions on how to actually set this up, which is what we're going to do next. So first of all, what we're going to do then is actually clone the repo so we can actually download all of the files necessary to actually install this tool. So we can go ahead and clone the repo like this. And as we can see here, that is cloned. So if we do ls, we can see CloudStrike AI is listed here. So then we can change into that folder. So cd CloudStrike AI. So first of all, we're going to run npm install, which is going to download all of the tools and libraries that this project needs to actually be able to run. So we go ahead and hit enter on that, and then yes, and then enter password. So this is just going to take a second. You can say yes here, hit enter. It's going to take a second just to install this. When this has got to 100%, we'll go to the next command. So now that's completed, what we're going to do now is create a environment file. As you can see from the step-by-step instructions on the GitHub page, we can see that we need the environment file because this is where we're going to be storing our Google API key, because it's actually using, as you can see here, the Google AI platform and Google Gemini as the AI backend, and that's what we're going to be using to prompt to actually generate these attack scenarios. So if we go ahead and use Nano to create this file, and as you can see here, it's given us the format of what we need. I'll show you shortly how to actually get your own API key. So we want to delete this because this is where our API key is going to go. So to get your own Google API key, you need to head over to Google AI Studio, and then you're going to hit get started. It's likely going to ask you to log in to your Google account, or it is going to ask you. And you can see in the bottom left here, it's going to say get API key. So we're going to click on that, and then you should see this area here. You're going to click on create API key. And then it should have a list of projects, and as you can see here, Gemini API. So I'm not paying for Google Gemini, so you can use the free version of Google Gemini for this project. Then we can select create API key in existing project. And once you do that, then it'll say API key generated. So I'm just blocking it out here so you can't see my API key. You want to make sure that you're not showing anybody this API key. If you do, for accident, do show somebody, make sure to get it revoked so that people can't use your Google Gemini API key. So we just want to copy that back over to our virtual machine, paste it in here, and then we can save this file. I'm in Nano, so I can do Control O, and then I can write to the file name, which I'm calling api.environment. and then hit enter, and then Control X, and then it'll close the file. So next we're going to run npm run dev, which is going to start this project in developer mode. So if we go ahead and hit enter. So I actually ran into an error here, so what I need to do now is run npm install next react-dom. This is going to add next.js, which is the web app framework. Also going to add React as well, which is the engine that's going to build the user interface for the project. And maybe for you that you might run npm run dev and it may work for you, but if it doesn't, then do try to run this command. So we're just going to wait for this to install. And then once that command is finished, it should look like this. Next, we're going to run npx next dev -turbopack-p9002. And what that's going to do is going to launch the app using next.js on localhost on port 9002. And I'm going to show you then how to access it through the browser. Then it should look like this, and it's confirming to us that this has been run correctly. And as you can see here, it's available on localhost 9002. So now we can actually go to this URL. So we can actually just come in here, right click, open link. It's going to open it in the browser, and then it should look exactly like this for you. So now we've installed this application, we can now go ahead and use it. But just to go through what we're seeing here, what we're going to be able to use now is it's going to allow us to describe a certain cloud attack scenario in the section below here, allow us to generate that script, and then that script then is going to be pasted and entered into the threat sandbox, which is going to allow us to run a full threat scenario, and it's going to give us some analysis and defense recommendations so that we can model specific cloud-based attacks by coming up with an actual attack script. And it's going to allow us to model that scenario and actually come up with some countermeasures and how to actually improve our defense. So attacker libraries, you can actually pick some of the pre-built scenarios and load them into the generator. So for example, AWS S3 data exfiltration. It's loaded that in here, as you can see, a PowerShell script that exfiltrates data for an AWS S3 bucket by finding publicly accessible buckets and downloading their content. So now we'll go through and have a look at some more of these scripts, and we'll have a look around to see what this sandbox can actually do. This is actually a recording that I did earlier where I my Windows virtual machine, and what we're going to do here then is actually run some of these attack scenarios. So we're going to do the Azure VM remote code execution. As you can see, when I loaded in that pre-built attack scenario, what it's done here then is actually added in the text into the prompt. So simulate a remote code execution on an Azure VM by exploiting a vulnerable web application to run a reverse shell. Now what we'll do next is actually generate the script. As we can see in the threat sandbox, this attack script has now been generated, and it's given us the different phases of the simulated attack. Now that we've actually got this full attack script, what we can do now is click model full scenario, and what that's going to do is allow us to come up with some countermeasures against this specific attack script. So if we go ahead and click model threat scenario, and now that that's completed, we can see down here then that we've got the countermeasure. So it's actually given us an Azure script to actually harden our VMs in Azure. So you can see this script simulates enhanced security measures to be able to mitigate the specific attack script. So remember what we've got here. We've got an attack script which is mimicking the attacker, and we're also creating a blue team defender script to be able to actually mitigate this specific attack scenario, which is really, really cool to see because we're able to mimic the attacker and the defender as well. It's also given us a good defense effectiveness score as well, and as the AI is also providing some analysis saying that it successfully blocked the attempt to 444 via the firewall rule, but it does say, however, the attack successfully exploited a vulnerable web application, and it still uploaded a malicious payload, executed a reverse shell, and exfiltrated sensitive data. So this is why there is a lower effectiveness score, because it's reflecting the severity of data exfiltration despite the single port connection that was blocked. It looks like it's saying here that persistent mechanisms were also successfully simulated as well. So again, a lot of information here in regards to actually being able to defend against these type of attacks. We've also got this really cool dashboard area that you can see on the left hand side as well. And this dashboard then has given us an overview of the security posture based on the last simulated attack. So it's showing the total events that were generated, how many active threats, what was actually blocked, the overall risk score, given us some top security events, so it's listing through the different events, and a lot of these events you would often see in logs, for example, in a SIEM or Security Information Event Management tool that a cybersecurity analyst would be responding to. We've also got some of the top running processes in here as well, so some great information in here that can allow us to kind of piece together some analysis of this cloud-based attack. And then as we scroll down, then what we're going to be able to see then additional information such as the event severity breakdown and also the cloud resource status. But then there's also this good threat analysis section here as well, where it's given us an overall risk score. It's given us a really good executive summary about what attack took place, given us a technical breakdown, and also provided some recommended actions as well. So these are notes that you would often see similar to what a cybersecurity analyst will be doing. But as you can see here, then this tool is actually able to simulate not only the attack script, not only a script to actually put in defense and countermeasures, but it's also providing an executive summary of the whole attack as well, so allowing us to easily present this to management, for example, in our cloud security posture that we need to make improvements on. So then if we go over to security events on the left-hand side as well, this is going to show us a list of all of the security events that were detected and created during that last simulation. What this is doing then is allowing us to actually generate logs that we can use then to actually respond to actually create specific detections for as well. So if we go over here and click respond, we can actually generate a particular response plan for a certain event that's been detected. So as you can see here, then an attempt to create a scheduled task, and it's given some suggested steps and some actual countermeasures as well when it comes to trying to actually block this particular persistence mechanism. So I highly recommend CloudStrike AI. It's an excellent tool that can really help you build up that knowledge in cloud security, or if you're a current cloud security specialist and you're trying to use an AI specific tool to generate attack scripts and come up with different countermeasures for specific attack scenarios, this is a great tool that you can use. And like I said, Ritvik is in our free school community. Link below if you want to join on a free cybersecurity call, a career call, and also join our free community as well. But he's specifically said to me he really wants people to try this out, so please do. If you want to also fork it, make recommendations, make changes, he's also happy with that as well. So please do reach out to him and make sure that you let him know what you think of this tool. But CloudStrike AI is a really great tool. I'm glad that I've had a chance to use it, and I recommend it's a tool for you whether you're a beginner and trying to add this to your resume, to your project. This is a great cloud security and more AI based cloud security project that you can add, or if you're a current cybersecurity professional as well, it can really help you there as well. So to conclude then, you now know how to set up and use CloudStrike AI to actually build out cloud-based attack scripts, and also how to build out cloud-based defensive scripts as well to be able to defend against a lot of these well-known cybersecurity and cloud-based attacks. So thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn more about getting into cloud and getting into cloud security, I recommend going to watch this video next. I want to say thank you for watching. I'll see you over there.